What, Carly? I'm trying to start the podcast.
You want me to start it off for you?
No, I'm starting. Welcome, guys. Episode 2, Talk Nerdy to Me. We're here with Jacob, Alice Paul, the guitarist in my band, Let Them Drown, who's also been on Fishing with Friends before. Say what's up, Jake.
What's up?
We're also here with Michelle Burns, who we play Fortnite with constantly. The link to all her stuff will be in the description. Jake don't really do anything, so there will be no link for him. Unless you want to go follow the band page on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's about all we have. But we have an Instagram too.
A little bit of self-promotion.
A little bit of self-promotion. But today we are talking about Battle Royales. I think the main ones we play here are Apex and Fortnite. We don't really play PUBG, but man.
I played PUBG on release for like the first year, and then I stopped playing it. And I came back, and it was like a totally different game. Vanilla was such a high contrast from the most latest update.
I know, I don't know. I think there was really just a sudden burst of Battle Royales. And
Yeah.
like,
It really has
yeah.
been, just a burst of here's some Battle Royale, here you go. It's everywhere now.
I mean, it started with Fortnite, really. It really did start with Fortnite.
I don't know if there were any others before it.
No.
I don't think
Unless you count Call of Duty.
When Call of Duty was trying to do what Fortnite was doing, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that.
The Black Ops 4 Battle Royale.
Yeah.
That was I hated that.
But it was really what was it, 2017? Was it 2017 that or was it 2016?
I came into Fortnite really late.
I came in season 4, the very first chapter.
I want to say 2014.
2014?
To be honest.
I don't think
you were introduced was basically when I first started playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
No, damn, 2017.
So it was 2017.
I would say 2014.
I was like, that's the year I graduated, dude. I don't think it was 2014 or I remember that shit.
Yeah, I was earlier.
The initial release date was 2013.
Oh, so they were trying to release it.
Then they did the all access beta test in 2015. 50,000 players play.
Fortnite?
For the test run.
Dang.
I gotta get the charger for the laptop. I forgot.
I never played Fortnite. I can't do the building.
The building?
I like shooting.
I do too. I think the building, it's annoying when you've got the people that can just build so fast, and then you're just how do they do it?
That's what Skylar said
It
earlier.
looks like there's a robot just automatically building it, and it goes so fast, you're just like, what? I can't build like that.
Well, he brought up the idea of so when you pop a pot or something, it has the delay, the timer delay. Do that, but with building.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I think a timer delay for building would delay. Yeah, it would suffice the game big time because today I was playing Fortnite earlier this morning and I shot one shot at a sniper and this dude just just fast building and I'm just are you kidding me?
Do that, though?
It's literally okay, another thing that's really I'm going to say it really fucked up the game is cross-platform. Cross-platform with PC has really screwed these games up.
It's between all 3 platforms. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can play PC.
I can play on my computer.
I didn't know that. Well, the way Apex runs, you can cross-plat between all 3, but you're only playing with PC players in a lobby if a PC player is in your party.
Yeah.
Really?
If it's just me and an Xbox player, there are no PC players.
See, that's the thing is the only console I think is really screwing it up is PC because you can move so much faster with a mouse than you can with a controller.
Yeah, PC is pretty much the optimal way to go with gaming, though.
Oh yeah, there's some games that I have on my computer that I would not play on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
could not.
I'm a dedicated console fan.
Yeah, I do too. I love it. For me, I don't know how old you are, but growing up and being a '90s baby, that's all we had was the consoles growing up.
I mean, I'm an early 2000s kid. We had basically the same shit.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
just growing
90s.
up that way.
I have every generation of PlayStation but the 5.
I wish I would have kept all mine. I never did.
I keep all my consoles.
Thankfully,
I have the second one, but
my dad never took his PlayStation because he had the bulk, the real big one, and he had the mini one. And I have both the bulk and the slim PS2 and the original 3 that came out the day of release.
Is that the one that's like really weird and has ridges on the
kind
top?
of round and.
I mean, my PS3 is like that, but it's not.
It's the one where it doesn't have the automatic disc tray; it still pops.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Oh, okay. Then that's what I've got.
I waited in line for that for 4 hours at our GameStop.
But these games, I don't know. I think the only thing I don't like, there's different things I don't like about each game. Apex, I don't like that you can only have 3 people. I think it
I
needed to
think
make.
that was a big one for me, to be honest. Was like only the 3 people, because then it was like uneven or trying to find that extra person or whatever, and we were just like.
I'm just. I think that is a big con of the game, but I've adapted to it. But
No solo play as well.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a solo.
That was it for me. No solo play. I was like,
I think they've had like test run events where there's solo modes, but I want an official like duos is okay, but people sweat too much.
Yeah.
I sweat a lot.
Thanks, Carly. No, just tryhards. That's another thing. Tryhards.
Sweaty nerds.
Sweaty nerds that literally. See, I wish I had as much time in the world as a teenage kid does to play Fortnite.
Right?
There are 13-year-olds out there doing it for a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me waking up each morning to a 13-year-old that makes fucking $2 million a day.
Yeah, I had my brother message me. He's like, "There's this little kid on YouTube that makes this much money per year just for playing video games," and I'm like, "Okay, well, let the little kid prove you to what's possible in this world, all right?"
Yeah, I want that job. I want to not.
Excuse me while I go work 40 hours.
I have cut my hands up stacking boxes onto a skid.
And this kid has probably slight arthritis before he's 20.
Yeah. It sucks. It really does. But I don't know.
I think in a sense with all of that too, it's a good thing too. I mean, for me, in my generation, like so for those of you on the podcast, I'm a mindset coach and I teach like goal strategy and stuff like that. So for me, I teach a lot of mindset stuff. And for the longest time, I know Skylar can like vouch for this because like there for a while with playing video games, I kind of just dropped off the planet. I dropped off the face of the earth when it came to playing video games. Like I just boof. And I was like, I just needed to sit it down for a while to like really get my mind where it needed to be this entrepreneur and pursue my big dreams. But where I'm at today, I'm playing video games again. And there was a huge mindset shift with me was growing up with, and I was raised by my grandparents. So in their generation, they never grew up with technology. They never grew up with video games. So like for a really long time, they were like, there was this belief I had, oh, I can't make money and play video games. And that was like a huge thing for me. And now it's just like I had to completely shift that. I'm like, okay, there's little like 8-year-olds that's making millions of dollars on YouTube and Twitch for playing video games. If these kids can do it, I can make money as a coach playing video games too. So it's just like that huge big generation shift of like seeing little kids playing video games to making a ton of money now, and like just think their whole family is taken care of. So
well, then you've got the Skyrim grandma.
Yes.
Who's probably seriously monetized.
Right?
She passed away.
I mean, but
dude, I don't know if you knew that.
I know I didn't, but I'm sure she was heavily monetized.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I think that's another thing these battle royales has also brought is community. A closer community, connection to people across the world, especially with the pandemic going on.
Yeah, I think that was a huge, like, especially when that's when I was like, I want to play video games because we have that not being able to be around people, and that was for me. I was like, oh, I can get online and play with you. I can get on there and play with Matt or like whoever, and like just talk about life and play video games, you know. So it was a huge thing, especially with the pandemic and not being able. And I'm a people person. I love people.
People being locked inside of a house for like months.
Like basically a year. It's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year. I mean, we've done stuff since then, but like
those first
couple months were rough.
That was So I'm really glad we had video games on, you know, being able to have that community thing and be able to talk to friends and meet new people. Because like I met you through Fortnite.
I did. I did not know Michelle until I started playing Fortnite.
Yep.
I mean, there are a lot of community pages, like subreddit pages,
Mhm.
Pinterest pages.
Well, even
Tumblr
with
pages.
PlayStation, there's PlayStation communities that you
Yeah.
can look up specific things and join these communities.
There's
Mhm.
tons of Facebook community pages and Twitter pages.
Discord.
Yeah, all kinds of crap.
As for Fortnite though, that's another thing is incorporating modern culture into a video game. You know, with like I don't know, the different characters.
Yeah, like
You
they
know.
brought in all the Marvel characters. I
Marvel.
thought that was so
The
cool.
Emotes.
Yeah, the emotes, and I
Mhm.
just like even that. Like, look at like all the emotes and like the dances on Fortnite, and like people are doing that shit on TikTok now, and it's
Mhm.
like it's all like a whole new thing, and it's
Yeah,
like
and some of those dances are from 30, 40 years ago.
yeah, and it's like crazy that they brought that in, and like all these kids and the younger generations are doing these dances, and we're just like, y'all really have no idea where those really
Yeah,
came from.
where they originated from.
You just had to be there.
You just
Right?
had to be there. I don't know. Meme culture, I think, has a big influence as well on these games.
Mhm.
Meme culture really.
Fortnite burger.
Yeah. The Durr Burger.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
Durr Burger and what's the other one?
Where we dropping boys.
Where we dropping boys? That's a big meme.
I've seen too many Fortnite memes in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
There's so much stuff. I don't know. I think with these different battle royales, though, you have your different themes. Like obviously, Apex is a more serious, competitive. Where Fortnite, I feel, is more of a goofy.
Yeah, I think that was another big thing with Apex. Like it was like I felt everybody felt really serious. I'm like, guys, I'm just here to have a good time.
I'm just,
No pressure.
just trying to have some fun, guys.
Yeah, that's what sucks. Like with Apex, like you even have to be careful about what time of day you're playing. Like if you check your server, what server IP you're
Mhm.
connected to, you have to be careful of what time of day you're playing because the sweats come out at certain times of day.
Tryhards,
like,
man.
Alright, so I'm new. What's the sweats? Give me the download.
Like
this is like a new
sweats,
phase.
like
yeah.
Like sweaty players, like aggressive,
Like,
like try hard.
Oh god, guys, build.
They're sweaty. Yeah, they're sweaty because they're trying so hard.
For instance, Christian.
Okay.
You know how you hear Christian's controller like
Yeah.
clicking,
Yeah,
massive.
and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, those guys that can build like 300 meters in 2 seconds.
alright.
That's a sweat.
Shout out to our buddy Christian.
Shout out to the
They're
sweats.
a little too serious.
Yeah. Controller mashers.
Sadly, most of Apex, the community is pretty sweaty, but the game's just competitive overall versus Fortnite.
But with these games, though, I mean, these are the first set of games. These online battle royales are really the first set of games that connect different console players, like PC, Xbox, PlayStation. There's really nothing.
Were there any major cross-buy games
No.
before that?
They're really
I don't think there was because it was always like just you gotta have the same console.
Yeah.
And I think what's cool for me is I have PlayStations and I love Xbox. I'm not one of those people. I'm like I don't care as long as I can play a video game.
I think me and Jacob here are PlayStation.
I mean, I have an Xbox. So
I don't own an
But
Xbox.
my brother has an Xbox, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. That like, because growing up, I played video games all the time with my brother. So
Mhm.
like being able to be at our own houses and then him have the Xbox and that we can play Fortnite together. I was like, this is cool, and we can still talk to each other.
yeah.
You never imagined that as a 10-year-old.
No.
And that
not at
also
all.
goes back to like that community too, is
Yeah.
being able to meet new people, you know, and
Yeah, and I think like even Christian and like a few of the other people, Nathaniel, I think.
Oh, my buddy Nathaniel.
I met him through Matt. We
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
went to
Nathaniel.
the movies and watched the latest.
Yeah, I know who you're
Marvel
talking about. Yeah,
about
Nathaniel.
with like Iron Man, all of that went down.
Endgame.
Oh, Endgame.
Endgame, yeah.
Avengers.
I met Nathaniel at the movies and
See, that's crazy.
watched that
Like
all over Fortnite, all over playing online video games.
yeah, see. That's kind of why I brought you on this one, is because I met you through this game. I knew I was doing battle royales, and I was like, it's crazy because I would have never known who you were had I not played Fortnite.
I know, same, and it blows my mind because now it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play with Skylar, and it's like different now because I'm like, I've met him now, and it's just really cool. And I think just even talking about the community aspect, my brother has played video games for like ever. Obviously, I mean we all have, but growing up, I just remember he'd always talk about this dude Bobby, oh Bobby, and they'd make these funny jokes about Bob, oh Bobby, and like stuff like that, and like they he lived like a few. I can't remember what state he lives in, but he's Virginia, I think. And they drove down there and met this guy. And then when my brother got married, this Bobby was at my brother's wedding. And when I sat down, he was like, "My name's Bobby." I'm like, "Wait. The online old Bobby?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's me." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's so cool."
Yeah, it's
We were
just
gonna do something
nuts.
like that. Me and my little circle of guys that we played with, because I came in super late, because they had all their PS4s upon release, and I bought more, and I didn't get one until like last summer. I just stopped playing video games and did music, so I hop on, and they met this Hispanic kid named Hector, and he's from Chicago. They were like, "Yo, we should all just like all 8 of us just get in a van and go meet this kid in Chicago." We never got around to it, but I've seen lots of videos of like grown ass men, like 30-year-olds.
I would.
Yeah, meeting people.
See, that's another
I
thing.
think that's with like me and Skylar. I was like, we need to meet.
Yeah.
It's like how long have we been playing Fortnite together? We live in the same kind of area. Like we need to meet.
You live in my hometown. That's the crazy
Exactly.
part, where I
Like, we
grew
need to
up
meet.
and graduated from and stuff. That's another thing is like Viv that we play with.
Yeah.
Vivian, she's in another state. I think like Wisconsin or something like
Yeah,
that.
and we had a girl that when I first started playing Fortnite with like Matt and then our other friend Nick Worf. There was another girl Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth.
She
Ruth's
lived
from
in
New York.
and now she lives in Ohio, and she's like in our area, and it's like, how does stuff like this
How
happen?
bizarre.
You know?
Yeah,
it's
it's like
crazy.
all these people we meet. It's just crazy. But I think what's really crazy is I don't know. There's with the community. There's also the bad side of people be like, this one's better. This game's better. Like, Apex is better than Fortnite. Fortnite's better than Apex. PUBG's better than this. And
I think like
I think everybody has their own preference.
Yeah.
Like I love Minecraft, and Skylar's like, I've never even played it. I couldn't get into it. I'm like, I love it because of the creativity aspect and like what game is it that you play, like Skyrim or something like that?
like
I've never even played it, and like
You've
I'm
never
not gonna.
played Skyrim?
No,
oh my
I've
god,
never
you're missing
played
out.
it,
That's gotta change today.
That's gotta change. We gotta do that today.
It's like I think everybody has their own preference on what kind of style video games they like.
Like all of my friends, they play. A couple of my buddies, they play like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Like all my friends, like Madden and 2K, and all. I can't.
I can't get into like the basketball sporty game things either. Like wrestling games. I'm like,
I love wrestling games. I'm a big wrestling fan.
See, my fiance loves wrestling.
It's all about like the gameplay, like the mechanics of the game itself for me, and how I can interact with the game. Because that's like with Fortnite, I don't like. I'm not a fan of the third person aspect. I can't do third person games too well, and the building, and it's just I'm more used to a very sensitive, control based, very fast paced environment, which is what Apex is like.
Yeah, see.
Because even in Fortnite, like your strategy, I'm sure the strategy is much different than how you would go about it in Apex. I'm sure placement's pretty important. Is that a laser?
It sounds like a laser gun. It's outside. I don't know what it is.
But like with Apex, like you can't really.
That's
do
not a
any of
bird.
that.
Somebody's car alarm went off? It's not mine. Mine would be right up. It would be go brr, brr.
Yeah, mine would too.
What is
Somebody's shooting a laser out here. They're playing real life Apex.
I bet it's one of those window alarm things. That's what it sounds like.
It is. She's out there getting it.
Oh, anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, like Apex is so boots on the ground. Like it's all about positional advantage. Like where are you at? Who has height? Where are they? Are they behind you? To your left? What character do they have? Because even their abilities matter.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Apex is. I feel like people will probably crucify me for this statement, but I think Apex is heavily inspired by Overwatch. Because there's a lethal and a tactical ability. They're all unique characters. It's that whole thing. Now with Fortnite, you really don't have to worry about that. It's just
load in,
this guy
load up.
one-tap me from 600 meters away, like
with a pistol.
Yeah, like, can he do that when I'm worried about, man, what gun does this guy have? Like,
and I think another thing with all of that too, like I have my little cousin that comes to my house, and he's like 12, 11, and he likes when we play Minecraft together, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt bad, but he made me so upset one night because he kept wanting to put in cheats. and like be able to hop around in the game. And I'm like in survival. I'm all
Whack.
about that survival mode and being able to just do it from scratch and start. And he's
Yeah.
like, and like I love being able to like get the achievements. And like when you start cheating, it turns all of that off. And I got so upset one night. So and it just really taught me. It was like everybody has different styles of how they play games too. Because I was trying to play like a new Minecraft map with Nathaniel one day, and I think our build styles were completely different, and the way that we just navigate in the world in like a Minecraft, it was just completely different. So with that, it's like people just have different like gaming styles.
Yeah, everyone has their own approach.
Yeah.
I think another thing with this is like, okay, Fortnite has mainly Fortnite, and I keep saying Fortnite because it's the main one I play, but like I've seen like where Fortnite has caused a lot of problems with kids and their parents. Kids stealing credit cards to buy
V-Bucks.
Yeah, and scams as well, as far as like people hacking accounts to get credit card information, it being very easy.
I'm just wondering what people are gonna do when because I mean, battle royales can only do this for so long, and what all of them do, they release it in early beta, they release it in early access, and they do that so they can keep it free. And then they put all of the purchasing and the money into the add-ons, skins, bonuses, like all that little extra shit you can add on. That's where all the revenue comes from. But what are people gonna do if something happens and they're like, oh, too much revenue coming in or something, you know what I mean? Who knows? Or
creates a monopoly.
Yeah, like, oh, your game is too perfect to be considered early access.
Yeah.
Because like Fortnite's been out for 4 years.
It's still in early access.
And they've updated the living hell out of it. What season are you guys on now?
Chapter 2, season 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think the new season's about to start soon.
Yeah, because I didn't get Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
You didn't? I got all of it.
You know what? I'm going to buy him anyways because I like Baby Yoda.
Well, that's like...
You still got time, I think.
Kind of, sort of, not a battle royale game, but like DayZ. They released DayZ in like, my God, like 2010 or something. And it was an alpha for like 3 years, and then early access for 4, and then beta for 3.
So did they ever eventually make you have to pay to play?
Yeah, it's an official release.
Yeah, so
now.
I'm wondering like if Fortnite will ever get to that, you know?
Because I never thought I'd see a day where they'd actually release that game officially.
Another battle royale I tried to get into was H1Z1. That's like the original battle royale. To be honest, that really is the original because it started on PC. But that one I tried to get into it, I couldn't really, because you got to wear
I've
like.
I've not even heard of it. So
Honestly, I'm pretty sure H1Z1 was the original battle royale game for PC.
I think so.
H1, yeah. And it like you have to like it's a lot like PUBG. It's more like a PUBG. You can drive vehicles and stuff like 4-wheelers, cars, but you have to like wear armor, like helmets and ballista vests and stuff. And you have to loot up and put gear on your guns. And it's I don't know. I prefer Fortnite personally, where you don't have to do as much.
Yeah, Fortnite for me was the first battle royale I've ever even played, and then like that's when I got into like Call of Duty and like we've seen all that, and it was just that was just too much pressure, and I was like, nope.
I'm looking at this list. Technically, and if we're talking chronologically, the first technical battle royale game to be released was PUBG. H1Z1, or it's called Z1 Royale.
Which is H1Z.
Yeah, it came out a year and a half later. But still, I think Fortnite's one of the earliest major battle royale games. Because, I mean, if it was in development in 2013, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't even think I'd consider H1Z1 a battle royale, though. Well,
I mean, technically,
Royale.
Well, it was. H1Z1 is still a thing.
And DayZ. Look, I mean, it's kind of battle royale. It's open world, everyone for themselves, but it's not like a closing ring. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that.
I don't know. I think with all of them, though, I mean, there's a lot that they brought and a lot of different mechanics, and I don't know which one really. I can't say which one's the best because I play 2, and I think you only play 1.
I like Fortnite. Yeah. I mean, if there's any others that's introduced to me, I do. I'm pretty open-minded. I'll try them out, and if I don't like it, I was like, okay, cool, I don't like it.
I've tried one recently called Royale. It's a new one. It's still in beta. It's not bad. It's more like Fortnite. It's cartoony and stuff, but it's not bad.
I think Fortnite's pretty much put that on the map of like what
Yeah.
gaming is like, what we can do, and to create like a community of people
Mhm.
in like the same game, and just like, yeah, it's really cool.
And speaking of the map, the changes to the map
Yeah, I
over
think
the
that's like
years.
the
Yeah.
coolest, like the most exciting thing is like, oh, what's new with the map right now?
Yeah.
See, the switch between Apex and Fortnite, like with the map changes, Fortnite's is way more drastic. Like your guys' map is not the same it was a year ago. at all.
Oh no,
it's completely
it's
changed.
Like Apex doesn't really do that. It doesn't do it that drastically. They find like a story.
I actually think
way.
I have.
Like what they do is every season they'll introduce a new character, and if the character's introduction
blurry,
somehow is
but-
affected by like
Yeah, you can't even really see it. But that's the
Map.
original map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you can't really see
definitely
it,
not the
but-
same. I know when I first started playing Fortnite, the map now is not what it was when I started playing.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool, and it's exciting because it's like they keep this storyline behind like the changes in the map in a sense, with like the characters and like the
Mhm.
season, because we get like these season, what's it called, when you first pull it up, it gives you this play.
a login.
Oh, like the
or-
cinematics
Yeah, like of the
Oh.
characters, of like what's
Yeah.
going on.
of like the storyline.
That's
for
how
it.
Yeah,
Apex
and I think
is,
that's really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I like the storyline that they have created and how they adapt each season's theme with
So like
the story.
what's kind of going
Yeah.
on, and like with when they introduced in Marvel, I thought that was so cool. And then like right now it's like with the Mandalorian, they
I
released
like,
season 2 of the Mandalorian.
and
I
then-
like
that's
the
so
Deadpool
cool.
Yeah.
stuff. The Deadpool stuff.
Yeah, I
was
thought
really
that
cool.
was-
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Deadpool stuff, and they had like Deadpool's yacht.
And then what was it that Fortnite had a while back where they had that marshmallow concert? Like,
Yeah,
I thought that
concerts,
was
live
so
concerts.
cool.
That's another thing because they recently did which I hate to say his name because he recently has been in trouble for saying the N word, but the dude from it's Diplo and God dang it, what is his name? I hate to say his
Wait,
name.
is that
but-
that country dude?
Yeah,
I don't know who. I'm not
Yeah.
like in the
Diplo.
country, so I don't know.
I don't know.
they do that song Heartless, and it's actually really good.
Kanye West.
Morgan Wallen. That's who it is, Morgan Wallen, which I hate to. He helped write that, but yeah, like he did the Diplo did a concert, and so did Marshmello, and like now they're having all these other people do concerts.
I just thought
Travis
they've,
Scott.
They've never done that on a video game like that. Before.
Yeah, it's
that
never
was
been
the
done.
Coolest thing ever, and like if you were there, it was like you had to be there moment to like actually experience that with a group of friends and like a whole community. It was the coolest thing ever.
And creative mode, allowing people to
Right?
create all these maps and mini games and stuff, especially like prop hunt. That's the big
That's
one.
Prop Hunt. I really like
Prop Hunt on
That's too
Fortnite,
much fun.
A lot of fun.
I think I just got a spam text. Not to throw off.
No,
the
you're good.
subject. Well, here's the only reason I work in a storeroom, so I work with delivery companies like FedEx and UPS and all that, and I just got a text saying, "Hey, this is Mark at USPS. We tried to deliver your parcel today, but it was sent back to us. Please contact us here ASAP." And they sent a link.
Don't click on it.
Don't
Yeah,
click on
It's
that.
porn.
Yeah, I don't.
It's porn.
It's
It's
porn.
porn. Yeah, by the way, people, please quit commenting porn links on my videos.
It could be robot too. Like
I mean,
it's
yeah.
just weird. It is really weird.
If you're commenting porn links on my videos,
At least
I'm
make
not
it
gonna be
worth
happy.
his time.
yeah,
Yeah, make it worth his time at least.
I know somewhere deep down there are Let's Plays on Pornhub, so
like Rickroll
Please.
me, please. Just Rickroll me if you want to. I don't care. I wouldn't even be mad.
the B movie is on Pornhub, so please
The B movie?
Make it-
Why?
make it worth my while. I've seen
Yeah.
the tar tutorials.
Gosh.
If it wasn't for Fortnite, though, we would not have Fishing with Sticks. We would not have the channel.
Right? And I think
The-
that's so cool
yeah.
too. Like video games give people such a platform to connect people together and like just have and like what I do just for a living, like I'm in like the huge in the coaching world, and like a lot of other coaches, I don't ever hear them say, I love video games, and I'm the coach in the world going, I play the shit out of video games, you know? And like I love video games, and it's like a lot of people in my community that's in that realm of coaching. When I start talking about like the video game, and I'll talk about my Fortnite buddies or something like that, they're just like, what? They just don't get it because they don't play video games, or they've never really played it, or they just view them as this whole thing of like numbing out of the world, you know. But it's like to me, I'm like, no, I get to talk to my friends and I get to be really creative and like do and like. I mean, me and Sky, we've had some pretty in-depth, like, cool conversations while playing video games.
That's what most of my Fortnite videos are, is for the conversations and commentary. I know people don't watch it to watch us like gun down dudes and get wins, and they watch it for the commentary because it's the best.
When I watch people like on Twitch or like I'll tune into something random on YouTube, it's always because of what they're talking about, or they're like, or like something wild happens in the game, and then like they laugh about it, and it's like it makes you laugh too, you know. And it's like I think that is like the community aspect of people. They just like when in my world, like when I talk about playing video games, I'm like, oh, I can do this and this and that, and they're just like, eh. I'm like, yeah, so you don't get it because you don't play video games.
I had this guy at work tell me he loves when like because I work in a factory, when he's on like the packing table packing the candles or whatever. He loves to just put on one of my Fortnite videos because he just listens to the commentary.
Yeah.
He don't even watch the video. He just like likes to listen to what we talk about and stuff because it's interesting. And
see, that's what's cool about video games too. Is like I think it's almost psychologically attaching for people, just because almost unless you're playing like Dark Souls, 90% of the time you're gonna walk away with like a sense of accomplishment. Like
Dark Souls.
Video games are unproductively productive.
Well, and that's the thing. Like that's like where like my mindset comes into like stuff with this. It's just like people. I think there's another coach that I work with, and she was like, because I told her like I like to play video games, and she was like, oh, no, that's just you tuning out of all that's going on, and I'm like, no, it's not.
I actually enjoy playing games.
Understand it whatsoever,
and it's good for your brain.
And it's like, well, the thing is like that's what I was thinking too. It's like hand-eye coordination. Like that's a huge thing.
Problem solving.
And it's problem solving. And for me, like, and I think like, you know, I'm into like the whole moving of energy and dealing with our emotions and like what's really alive for us is just being, because we're human. We have emotions, we have feelings, but it's just like sometimes that's some people's go-to to express themselves in certain kinds of ways. It's just like it's a different avenue. And I think, and I know this is like still like random, but you go to like music concerts, right? And it's like we're not having those right now, and it sucks because like that's a way for people to move energy. And what I mean by like that is it's like they're jumping up and down, they're screaming, and that's like an energy release to let out shit that they've been holding up. And I think video games are the same sense in that too. It's just like some people just they don't get it and they see video games as this bad thing, and I'm like, no, I don't think they're bad.
That's what sucks for like me and Jake right now is, I mean, we got the band Let Them Drown, and we just like we can't. We just started in the pandemic. We started the band in the pandemic, and we can't really do concerts right now. We've done one concert, and we haven't been able to do anything else because of lockdown.
And I think as of right now, with all like lockdown in general, when you think about people with mental health and just all of that, video games has probably been the very thing, and the community that video games has created has been the one thing that's helped like had people like holding on strong and keeping their shit together.
Solidarity can drive a person insane.
It really is. Like I'm a person, I love my alone time. Do not get me wrong, but I'm also at the same time I'm a people person.
Need somebody to talk to.
Yeah, I love people too. So.
Well, that's been the shtick since like hell, since in the '90s. I mean, people blame the Columbine shooting on aggression, video game related aggression,
which is not true.
But it was the situation was the exact opposite. They were releasing, not gathering. As it's been that way ever since. I mean, people have constantly been trying to pin it on video games.
Yeah, and I'm just
saying
like,
it's
I've
bad.
Never in my life played Call of Duty and be like, cool, I'm gonna go do this somewhere else.
Especially with like, okay, so all our battle royales are pretty much shooters. They're saying shooter games are the cause of all this stuff. Yeah. That's not true.
I don't play Mortal Kombat, and I don't play Mortal Kombat and go in public and walk down the street and be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking rip this guy's heart out right now.
I'm not gonna throw a chain with a spear at the end of it.
Like, I mean, okay, you got your psychopaths in this world, yes, that will do mess up stuff, but it's just like I think video games in a sense, it's almost like this fantasy world that we live in when we get into playing our video games, and it's like this whole, it's just a completely different world, you know. It's like separate from actually living life and walking around pretending.
Like, don't go kill people. Just play GTA.
Don't
just play GTA, and you'll be like, oh, I feel better.
But then we have the satisfaction of being able, because obviously we're still a consumer. It's still product.
Absolutely,
But
yeah.
then we get to sit back and watch all these studios crank out these amazing fucking games.
Right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they're only getting better. I mean, it's only going to go up from here.
Like what's those games called? Virtual reality.
Yeah,
VR.
Oh my
Yes.
Like all we can do now is just because I mean, video games, unless you're going for a more mechanical aspect, video games are an art form.
It
It's
really
graphic
is.
art.
It truly
Mhm.
is. Like it's incredible. I remember back in the day playing. I don't know if you guys remember these games, but in my day I played these on like the original PlayStation, and it was like the Driver and Driver 2.
Yes, Driver 2. It's one of the
Oh
I
best.
probably
God.
have, but it's been so
Gosh, and
fucking
just to
long.
think about like the old like I think was it Grand Theft Auto that was like a top down view.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
original GTA
And
for
like
PS1.
imagine what it is to
And
now.
look at
Those
it now.
gigantic maps and like you can actually run people over it. And like
Yeah.
it is the coolest thing ever. How far video
Well, and
games have
that's like
came.
on my PlayStation 1 that I have at home, I have the original, the very first Spider-Man game to be released for PlayStation, and then upon release this last year, I played Miles Morales, and it's like put those next to each other.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
cool.
that it seems like the worldscape because it seems like video games like the platform they had to work with and how the scale they had to work with went from this to this like universal almost
Yeah, and
within
I think
20 years.
yeah, and I think for me, like you, like The Sims, the game,
Mhm.
that is like my number. Like once I start playing it, there is no getting me off of it because
That's why today we're gonna have an hour-long stream for. Yeah, I've mentioned this before that I'm changing the podcast and Fishing with Friends to hour-long now instead of 30 to 40 minutes because it gives us more time to do stuff. But I have a feeling we're gonna go over an hour.
Well, with me and like The Sims, like you're talking about that, and it's like I remember when I started playing The Sims in Sims 2, and like the graphics in that game to like what they were from now, it looks real
Mhm.
almost. And I keep saying if when I get to the day that I build my dream house, I'm not kidding. I'm gonna pull up The Sims and I'm gonna build my house in there and take it to an architect. And be like, here's my house. You know,
Copy
It's like-
this.
People are like, you want it purple? It's like,
Yes.
I don't know if I could. Yes.
but
Are you
it's
really
like
sure you want your swimming pool in the dining room?
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, it really is an art to like all of that, and I think it's really cool, you know. And for games to be that, to give us, you know, as the consumers, like this creative outlet. With for me, like Minecraft, it's so. It's like such a creative freedom that you have to like build all this crazy stuff, and it's just really cool to watch the evolving of like what video like in my gen like we're all pretty young and we kind of grew up in that generation where there was no technology and then boom, here's
There's
video games, here's
everywhere.
everything that you could ever
The
imagine.
surge.
Literally.
To us
Tech.
growing up with like either really low graphic crappy games to where we are today, it's insane.
It
And
was
then
the baby boom of technology.
yeah, and it's like for
That
our
is
generation,
100% true.
Yeah.
and now it's like to the point where like we can talk to each other while playing a video game with headphones. It's really cool.
From across the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty neat too. It's wild. The internet's wild.
I'm also just excited to see because it's kind of hard to do now, but a lot of studios are getting better with it. I'm excited to see. One thing that really impresses me about a lot of games is if you can bring unique mechanics to the game.
Yeah.
I don't want just a basic left trigger, right trigger shooter, like
Yeah.
just something basic. Like make the controls weird, but make them
I think
make sense.
you're talking about cool mechanics for games. I think one that really invented the idea of cool mechanics for a game would be God of War's quick time events.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really a game that has entered because the first God of War was on PS2.
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, I think the first one. And the quick time events of hit this button right then, hit this button right then, like
yeah, that's a PlayStation signature on its own.
yeah.
So random, but like Guitar Hero popped in my brain too.
Yeah,
like the
that
randomness of that.
Yeah,
the creating motor skills. I mean, that probably got a lot of people into music too.
because I mean
Oh, yeah.
they had microphones, drums, guitars, like
Rock
Yeah.
band.
keyboard. They had DJ Hero.
And I think that's the thing too, like even with video games, and then they brought music into it, and like
Yeah.
music is such a
Rocksmith.
huge passion for some people, you know.
And
There's-
that's what's crazy about Rocksmith and Guitar Hero is like it also brings all these people who don't play video games, like Community.
Yeah,
like we've been talking about
exactly.
Community. bringing
They're like,
people
"Oh."
who don't play these games. They don't know anything about games, but they're like, "Oh man, you put these classic rock songs on
Yeah.
Rock
On
Band."
a video game, and I can play them. Like,
It's
wow,
literally video game karaoke,
I like music, but I'm shit at instruments. So let
Right?
me
Yeah,
do this.
exactly.
and it's cool.
But then in like 2014 or something, I don't. Have you ever played Rocksmith before? They came out with that.
I was pretty. No, I
So,
think I've watched.
What you
people.
do is you take a USB, a standard USB cable, and plug it in, and at the other end there's a 1/4-inch jack, and you plug a physical guitar into your PlayStation. Yeah.
And you can learn how to play guitar that
Yeah,
way.
they
And I
teach
was
you-
like, that's the coolest
Yeah,
thing ever.
Like that's such a really cool way to take both those cultures and just
Smash it
combine
together.
them together. Yeah.
So we're in the last little bit of our time here. Anything? You guys got anything else to say about battle royales in video games?
Hyperscape was the biggest battle royale flop to come out.
Big flops.
You got to talk about the flops of it all.
Yeah, flops of battle royale.
Flop time. Cuisine
Let's talk about the
royale.
downs, the cons.
I think something that like turned me off from like because when you can play like battle like squad or like what's it where you're on the map with everybody else in the game and like where you can turn it off where people that you don't know can be in your squad, and I think that was a big thing for me because I would get in these group of people and they would just say the rudest comments to you and like make you feel like shit, and I'm just like, why are we telling me that I'm a pile of trash? Like, I don't think that's cool to,
Yeah.
and like, especially with like in the world for me, and I'm really into like mental health and mindset. Like, little comments like that can really hurt somebody.
Cyberbullying.
Yeah, and I don't think it's cool.
That's
you
a
know?
con of Fortnite.
I think that's a big con for me. But other than
I
that,
think a big leading issue to things like that is, well, one, it's chance.
I'm gonna
But
say parents aren't really watching
yeah,
their kids
well,
either.
and another issue is a lot of, which I hope is going to be fixed within the next few years, is some form of skill-based matchmaking, the matchmaking systems
Yeah,
in games.
ooh.
Yeah.
See, I don't know how Fortnite's is, but the way I read in an interview, the way Apex does it, they have it paired to where they're pairing you with higher levels
Mhm.
on the offending squads, but sometimes they give you a mix in your team because they said they do that because they did a study or something that the more often you lose, there's more of a determination to win, and if you win, you strive to play harder. But that's still absolute garbage when I'm out here level 63 and I've got fucking Joe over here level 687 because he plays 27 hours a day. Like,
yeah. And I almost in that sense too, if they could start pairing their like age groups, like
Yeah.
at least for like the young like minors, because I've gotten on there with some really little kids and they're talking about like adult stuff, or they're just like saying some really mean stuff. Just I'm like,
or they're trash at the game.
what? Or yeah, and it's just like, what is the parents not
Right.
Yeah.
understand what opens up when they get onto a world like this where they can
It's
get
still
a
the internet.
hold. It's the internet. Like I could be, I don't know, the worst person ever and like try and tell your kid all about porn or something. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
yeah.
I would never do that,
I
but
could
it's just
send
like it
them-
opens the door.
I could DM their PlayStation account with a link and give them a
Exactly.
virus and track their IP and their address
Yeah,
and
and it's
everything.
just like I think with that, I mean, it's parents. I don't think parents know. Like
No, that's what I was saying earlier with Apex. Like there are certain times a day I have to get on because there was a couple months ago I took almost a week off of work because I was sick and I was home and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play Apex, and it was like a Sunday. I think I'd gotten sick that Sunday and I got on at like 10 in the morning. Something like that. And there's a bunch of kids and teenagers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a teenager, but like there's a bunch of
yeah.
little kids and shit, and I'm like, come on. And then I get back on at 5 o'clock, and all these dudes sound like their balls are to the floor. Like it's
You're like, wow, you hit puberty in 6
It's a literal
hours.
night and day difference, like just based on the matchmaking
Yeah.
in the community.
Yeah, I think there's pros to all of just video games in general and being able to play online, and there's definitely cons. But I think they even out, and it just like as me as a player, I don't let people that I don't know into my squad to play with, just because of my experience with that of people. I mean, just being really mean to each other, and I'm like, I'm not for that,
No.
So
I just say screw it and mute any random I don't like.
right, yeah.
Like half the time, if I'm playing squads, I have my mic muted.
Yeah, I'm usually either just play solo or I'm like waiting on him like, hey, Fortnite.
Yeah. I'm lonely.
Or Jake being like, "Hey, Apex."
Yeah,
You'll
I
play
think
some
there's just
Apex.
a balance of just how you play and the people that you have found to play with too is like a big thing. I mainly play with Skylar or I play by myself.
Yeah.
That's a big
Well.
one. But overall, I'm down. I like it.
Right, yeah.
Battle royales are fun,
Except Hyperscape.
except for Hyperscape. Screw you, Hyperscape. But I think that's gonna be it for the podcast. You can go. I'm gonna put the link to all of Michelle's
The
stuff.
last question.
Hold on, well, we got one last thing. Go ahead.
Last question.
Last question.
Prompt of the podcast.
Prompt of the podcast.
So I looked it up a few minutes ago. The technicality, what defines a game as a battle royale, is the last man standing aspect. Does that make Fall Guys a battle royale game?
Yes.
Yes.
Fall Guys. I completely
it?
forgot about Fall Guys, and that is probably the best battle royale
Does that
game.
make it a battle royale?
What a good game. That's a good game to get drunk to.
That game makes me want to get drunk.
I think it's funny because you're this little alien thing, and you're just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I need to get to that flag now.
I want the crown, damn it.
I don't know why I'm here or how I got here or what I'm doing, but all I know is I must run.
But I think that's gonna be it for battle royales on Talk Nerdy to Me, and I'm gonna put all the links to Michelle's stuff, Instagram, everything. I don't know your YouTube. I don't know if you've been doing anything on that.
I mean, y'all can follow me. I just only upload when I go on like epic cool adventures and travel. But other than that, I'm pretty active on Facebook and Instagram because I'm an online coach and I love what I do.
Yeah, and then Jake's stuff is my stuff because we're in a band together. So unless you want to follow his like actual Instagram,
Yeah, I'll just drop my Instagram.
I'll put his Instagram in the link. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're gonna actually have a live stream here in a minute. So see you guys then. Bye bye.